You're listening to Jubal Stone, U.S. Marshal, Blood Trail to Hell. Written by Casey Nash, narrated by Christopher Wilson. Published by Dusty Saddle Publishing and EK2 Publishing. Prologue. The frontier was no place to hang your hat if you were a coward or weakling, and sometimes even the strong and brave fell victim to the violence that stalked the land and plagued this new and untamed country. Such was the case with Sheriff Joe Stone and his family. Joe was a man's man from his narrow-brimmed hat down to his tarnished iron spurs. He had a hickory spine and anvils for fists. A lawman for over 25 years, Joe Stone split his time as a Texas Ranger and sheriff, keeping law and order in frontier towns all over the Texas territory. Before retiring, he finished out his role as sheriff in the town of Abilene. He was firm but fair. Wherever Joe served, he was well respected by the citizenry, highly admired by fellow frontier lawmen, and unquestionably feared by lawbreakers. Yet, because of the incessant pleadings from his wife, Millie, and his own desire to live a more tranquil life, Stone recently checked his badge, hung up his shootin' iron, and took up raising cows and a few head of horses. He and his wife bought a small ranch 6 miles south of town. Together with their daughter and son, they were committed to make a go of it, and had started well. With 2.5 decades behind the star, Joe, like other lawmen with his tenure, was responsible for sending his share of men to prison. Thus he had plenty of enemies. Some of them vowed vengeance upon Joe, and a few had already unsuccessfully tried, and paid for it with their lives. Unfortunately, the last who tried achieved their mission. 4 killers showed up at his ranch one day, bank robbers recently released from prison, men Stone had put behind bars. They ambushed Joe and his family, shooting them down like dogs. However, the assassins made a grave mistake that fateful day. They failed to confirm that 14-year-old Jubal, shot and left for dead, was indeed dead. Now, 8 years later, Marshal Jubal Stone wears a badge of his own. A .44 Colt sits low on his hip in a dark brown, well-worn leather holster latched down to his leg, both gun and holster his paws. Now behind a United States Marshal's badge, Jubal Stone will show no mercy when he crosses paths with killers, highbinders, and outlaws foolish enough to challenge his authority. He's Curry combing the frontier in search of his family's killers.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?